Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part two for our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of August 21st through August 25th. We're in part two of our weekly trading game plan. We will be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, talk about our shopping list. We'll also look at dividend payers, talk about some option strategies, etc. So thank you all again for joining us, and we'll get started. Good morning, Walter Lyons. Thank you for joining us in the live chat today. Hope you're doing well. So here's our Google document with our notes for part two of our weekly trading game plan for this week, August 21st through August 25th. We put our notes in publicly accessible Google documents, so you can refer back to these. Our notes contain links to bonus videos, tools, and resources that we use for selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc. If you haven't already seen part one of our weekly trading game plan for this week, titled Don't Fall in the Jackson Hole, we would highly recommend you also view part one, as that contains our market analysis, strategies, trade ideas, etc. For this upcoming trading week. So if you haven't already seen part one, we would highly recommend it. You can access it via this link in our notes and or via our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. We keep all of our Google documents with our weekly trading game plan notes in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes for this week's weekly trading game plan as well as previous weeks in that Google Drive folder. And again, you can find a direct link to that Google Drive folder in the description box below. Welcome, MD. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you as well. So firstly, we'll review a couple of our trades from last week, a variety. And then we'll look at those charts in Webull. So the first one is we got stopped out of our long position in BDRY. We had entered, BDRY is the ETF on dry bulk shipping. We had entered on June 28th at 551. We got stopped out on the 16th at 566 for a small profit, about a little less than 3%. Equates to a monthly profit of about 2% on this swing or scalp trade on BDRY. And I believe some of our other fellow BeachBum traders were also in BDRY, probably got a better entry price. And congratulations on all of our fellow BeachBum traders who also profited from this swing or scalp trade on BDRY. And we'll continue to keep an eye on BDRY to look to go long again when it comes back down to a support or bottom and swings back up. And we'll see that again in the charts. Welcome to Ricky Khan. Thank you for joining us. Another trade from this week is we had sold a cash secured put against Moderna at 115 strike, and for the August 18th expiration, so which was the last Friday was the options expiration for August. We sold it for 625 on July 11th. We got assigned when that expired. As you'll see, it dropped below the 115 strike, so we got it assigned to that. We'll seek to sell covered calls against this long position as per the wheel strategy. So in this case, we got assigned a stock we were willing to hold at that strike price, and then now we can turn around and sell covered calls against it and or take profit if it recovers. So we'll take a look at that. Also, we have bought back some covered calls, January 24 covered calls, 60 strike price that we had sold against our position on yen again. And we've done this numerous times. So when it comes down, we buy back. When it bounces back up, we'll sell additional covered calls. So again, congratulations if anyone else is making money selling and buying back covered calls on yen. Yen is the long on China. And again, we'll continue to do this as when yen goes back up, we'll seek to sell more covered calls against that. So just a quick reminder, if you'd like to get real-time alerts when we enter and exit trades, you can get that information by joining any level of our Patreon. We post our trades to our Patreon members as quickly as possible. You get an email notification. Also, our Patreon members have access to a couple of alerts channels in our Discord that I'll show you real quickly. So we've got a couple channels in our Discord. The first is a Thinkorswim price alerts Discord channel. So I have price alerts set up in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered, they get automatically posted to this Thinkorswim alerts channel. So you can see when those price alerts get hit. If we follow those up with an actual trade, then I would post a reply in the Thinkorswim alert channel. If it's not directly related to a Thinkorswim alert channel, like some of the options trades, then I would directly post that in our trade alerts channel. And again, any level or Patreon will give you access to both the email notifications as well as these alerts channels in our Discord. So let me grab a quick drink and we will review those actual trades in Webull. So firstly, here's BDRY. You could see where we got stopped out. It had spiked up on the 16th, and then it broke down below that support level, below that pivot point R2, and I put my stop just below that R2. So when it broke down below that on the 16th, we got stopped out. You can see it's continued to decline since then, and we would see if it continues down. Ideally, I'd love to get it back. I believe several of our fellow BeachBum traders got in it lower than we did. We got in back here at the support level. You can see it broke down after that, and you can see, patience pays as one of our adages. So we just held through that swing, given the thesis we had on the cyclicality of dry bulk shipping. So again, we see it's rolling over. We'll see if it continues to decline with partially the market declines for August, September. And again, the ideal position to get back in would be down at this 448. Again, we had sold the Moderna back in July. We sold the 115. Strike price. You can see it dropped down below that recently and then bounced back up slightly, but didn't make it back up to that strike. So we got assigned, and we'll again try to sell covered calls against Moderna. It's got plenty of upside potential. So again, we'll sell covered calls, waiting for it to recover. Yen, again, this is the long on China. And, our long-term thesis has been long China, but again, short-term it chops up and down, and yin and yang are the ETFs, short-term ETFs to play on China. It does pay a small dividend. And again, when yen bounces back up, we'll try to sell covered calls. When it bounces down, we'll buy them back and continue to kind of generate our own self-generated dividend by doing so. So I hope that all helps. Now we'll look at the stocks in our top swing trading stocks to watch list. I'll quickly review what's in the watch list, changes to the watch list for this week, and then we'll look at the charts in Webull as well. So we've had Disney, DIS on our watch list for a while. Again, you can hear our previous thesis of my experience with Disney and a previous due diligence video I'd done for beginner trading. So you can hear that via the link in our notes. We've been watching MJ. We talked about MJ, looked at MJ in our ETF spreadsheet a little bit yesterday. And again, I thought I might get an entry in MJ on Friday, and it didn't quite hit, but we've been watching that closely, and I'll talk about where that support level is. MP Materials. Again, you can hear our previous due diligence on MP Materials, rare earth miner, and you can access via the link in our notes and or on our channel. We're moving NSA. This is a REIT on public storage, and we put that in the game from the bullpen on the 17th. So we had it in our bullpen, and we'll see. It looks like it's possible NSA is establishing a support level. So we put it in the game, moved it up to our primary watch list on the 17th. You can hear more due diligence on NSA, why we kind of like the concept of public storage as a REIT. REITs have been beaten up quite a bit. So we're looking for an opportunity to swing NSA long, collect the monthly dividends, etc. Another REIT that we've been watching is O Realty Income. This is a dividend aristocrat. Again, it's been declining recently, starting to approach a attractive risk reward. And we'll look at that risk reward profile also in our dividend payers Google sheet. Just a heads up again that they do have an ATM offering out there, and at the market offering. So that's going to provide kind of a ceiling on O, and you'll see we're looking at O really more from price appreciation rather than just its dividend, but it does pay a decent monthly dividend as well, so we can get paid while we wait for O to swing back up. Welcome, Easy Mike. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you as well. Hope you're doing well. You can also get access to an automatically generated web page that we generate with price targets, earnings report dates, dividend dates, optionality information by joining any level of our Patreon. So if I make interweek changes to our watch list, those get automatically posted to a web page that, again, all of our Patreon members of any level of our Patreon have access to. And also, if I make change to our watch list after that web page has been generated, then I post it to a stocks watch list channel in our Discord that our Patreons have access to. So again, if it would be helpful to you to have our price targets, etc., on these watch list and bullpen items, stocks, you can gain access to all that via joining any level of our Patreon. Let me grab a quick drink and we'll jump over to Webull and review our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, you can still get up to 12 free stocks by opening a new account with Webull and depositing any amount and get up to 12 free stocks. If you use our affiliate link in the description box below, you can help support our BeachBum trading community, and we greatly appreciate that as well. Again, they're still offering, their 5% interest on idle cash in your cash account as well as a number of other benefits. So again, we use Webull for market analysis, due diligence, the majority of our trading. So again, you can get your free stocks by joining with our affiliate link in the description box below. So we'll quickly go through our watch list. Again, I'm using the online browser version of Webull. This is the stock screen. And another nice feature of Webull is you can have all kinds of different watch lists and quickly flip through them. So here's Disney. Again, we've been watching Disney anywhere below 85, as you'll see when we review our puts Google sheet as well. We've got cash secured put sold at 85. We would also buy shares on Disney. The previous low was 84.07, but anywhere under 85 is pretty attractive, and you can see it's approaching that level. So we'll keep an eye, see if we get a dip in Disney. And again, that would be a long-term swing in Disney. MJ, this is the cannabis alternate harvest ETF. And you can see I've been closely watching this the past several days, and it looks like it's established a pretty good support right around 3. You can see there's some volatility up and down over under 3. The previous low was 291, so our price target was set at 291, but this support in the level 2, there's been some sizable bids right around 3. So I put a bid in, an order in on Friday before I went to the beach at 301. Thought we might catch it then, but it didn't hit. But I've still got that order out at 301. We might get some oscillation around 3 down to this, 290s. But again, it looks like it's established a pretty good support level there. So we'll probably get into MJ pretty soon, right around 3. Our last buy, I think, was 299. They see upside, maybe about 330 or so. So short term 10%, longer term it's got a decent upside on a longer term swing. Also pays a very small dividend. MP Materials again been declining down, so we're seeing where it's going to establish a support. The previous low was 2021. It's been downtrending. Well, again, we're just waiting to see where that's going to establish some support, stop making lower lows, lower highs, etc. Again, we like MP Materials, got plenty of potential upside near term, up into the 2650 or so, and then longer term. Again, this is rare earths, U.S. based rare earths. China's recently restricted rare earths, and that provided a pop. This pop, I think, was when China restricted rare earths. So again, we see potential upside in MP. Ricky Khan says he got an MJ. Yeah, that's a good price. If you could catch those little volatile dips, I miss those, and they're relatively quick. NSA, again, this is the REIT on public storage. We've been watching it. It's been declining. It looks like it's starting to establish a support level, probably around that 32 or so. So the low was 30.91. Again, it looks like 32. It's establishing some level of support. So somewhere between 31, 32 looks like a decent buy opportunity. Realty income, again, you see all the REITs have been pretty steady decline. You can see it pays about 25 cents. So ideally, the previous low was, or a previous low is 53.30. Anywhere 55 or under seems like a pretty good price for realty income. And again, we're playing this more for price appreciation. So you see the most recent high was about 64. So we would swing that for the price appreciation more so than just the 25 cent dividend. But we're happy to get paid that dividend while we wait for that swing to occur. You can see from bottom to top, it can take, a month or two for a swing. So you might as well get paid, a couple months worth of dividend while you wait. Just checking the chat real quick. We'll talk about our changes to our bullpen stocks. So the concept of our bullpen is stocks that we're not really watching real time, but they look like they may present an attractive setup in the near future. So I put them in the bullpen watch list, and then I just revisit those at the end of each day. If their setup improves, then we put them in the game, move them up to our real-time watch list like I recently did with NSA, as we'll see. If they break down or run away, then we just take them out of the bullpen. So again, these are not ones that we're watching real time during the day generally. but I just revisit them at the end of each day and decide whether to put them in the game or not. So right now we have ACNT, which is a small cap steel company. You can hear our previous quick take due diligence on ACNT via the bonus link in the notes. So this is one we're watching to play sector rotations into steel. You can hear, people trying to buy U.S. steel. So there's some consolidation going on in the steel industry. This hasn't really benefited a whole lot from that as of yet, but there is some potential there. AXTI is a semiconductor. You can hear our previous quick take due diligence on AXTI via the bonus link in the notes. I believe that one's been released, so you can also find it on our channel. I'm going to take this out of the bullpen as it's broken down. We also see the general sentiment in semiconductors is broken down along with technology. So their most recent earnings were negative, so they lost some money. I think this is more of a long-term turnaround play in semiconductors. Also, when the sentiment shifts, there might be some benefits. So we may revisit AXTI when the sentiment shifts, and also if they can turn around their earnings. Yes, Easy Mike's pointing out an NVIDIA reports in 3 days, so they're reporting on the 23rd. Yes, SOXS is the short on semiconductors. SOXL is the long. We also talked about single stock ETFs, NBDS, like the other one's NBDL. Those are in our ETF sheet as well. We have a video on trading single stock ETFs. So again, on NVIDIA, also AI, I think will be a major theme on that day. So MPW is another REIT that we swung profitably in the past, and I had added that to the bullpen on the 14th as it was downtrending along with the other REITs. It's a decent dividend payer. So again, I'm watching all of these REITs that we previously swung profitably that have a decent REIT themes. They have hospitals, healthcare facilities. So MPW, we talked about NSA. Also, I'm watching Land and Stag, ones we've swung profitably recently that we'll see in our dividend payer sheet as well. They've all been downtrending. This one looked like it was approaching support level. So I added it to the bullpen, and then I saw this news. Essentially, it was a hit piece coming out of Wall Street Journal. They're having an issue with one of their major tenants. They're trying to restructure it. Apparently, that restructure deal has been put on hold by a judge, and you'll see there's a significant red bar down, downtrend, and they broke down through support. So when I saw that news and saw that big red candle, again, when I saw the big red candle, it caused me to look for what's the reason for that. Found this news. And so we're going to leave MPW alone for a while until that issue gets resolved. Just no reason to get tangled up in that. And again, the sentiment's pretty negative right now. So and Easy Mike points out their dividends been decreasing, and one of the things you'll see in that news piece is a risk that they'll have to cut their dividend due to that tenant solvency issue. So again, we're going to leave MPW alone for a while and see how that gets resolved, and then we could take another look in the future. NSA, as we mentioned, we're putting that in the game, so we moved it up from the bullpen to the primary watch list. SPWR, we saw yesterday, again, the sentiment in solar shifted pretty negative. They slashed guidance, it's continuing to break down, so we're just going to take that out of the bullpen. Again, we can always revisit SPWR when the sentiment in solar shifts again. This is, one, and there's other solar plays we can take a look at, but this looked like a potential opportunity if we saw a positive sector rotation into solar. Okay, so let me grab a quick drink and we'll jump back over to Webull and look at those charts. Again, it's just ACNT. Okay, so again, now the only remaining stock we've got in our bullpens, ACNT. You see, ideally, the previous low was about 812. You can see it kind of rolled over, is headed back down. So we'll kind of see, again, this is a steel play, kind of low float, somewhat illiquid, so it chops around a bit. So we'll kind of see, again, seems to be some sentiment shifting in steel, some potential consolidation. So again, we'll see how that turns out. Again, I'll just look at that at the end of each day, see if it's coming down to that target price or establishing some other level of support. And if so, then we'll put it in the game. Again, with our bullpen stocks, I run a number of queries at the end of each day, looking for potential setups, attractive setups, and then deciding if it's attractive enough to put in the watch list or just put in the bullpen and watch. So in terms of shopping list stocks, we always talk about having your shopping list ready for an irrational reaction to earnings, market decline, as we're currently seeing. So last week we talked in more detail about how to prepare your shopping list of stocks for, potential back to school sale in the stock market, potential market declines. Again, August and September tend to be downtrending, historically downtrending months. So maybe opportunities to pick up stocks that you always wanted to buy, potential hold, swings, etc. So again, you can hear more detail and some tools that we use to identify stocks to put on our shopping list in last week's. And this is just the strategy and trade ideas section of our discussion on that topic from last week. So you can access that via the link in our notes and or on our BeachBum trading channel. So now let's talk about our dividend paying stocks. So if anyone's got a particular dividend payer you want to look at, you can throw that up in the chat. We'll try to cover that. I'll bring up our Google Sheet. Just a reminder that if you would like access to this dividend payers Google Sheet, we find it helpful to identify, attractive dividend payers to park cash in while we're waiting for swing trades to manifest themselves, as well as, generate income. You can generate your own, income schedule using the various dividend payers in our Google Sheet. And you can get access to that by joining our Patreon at either the all access or VIP level. It'll give you access to our dividend payers Google Sheet, our ETF Google Sheet, as well as our puts ROIC. So if you'd like access, 24/7 access to all of those tools, you can join our Patreon and also help support our community by joining our Patreon at the all access or VIP level. Just a couple quick additions this week to our dividend payers Google Sheet is I'm adding OARK, which is the Yield Max ETF on ARK-K, the innovation ETF from ARK. Last week we reviewed the Yield Max ETFs. These are all using a covered call type strategy on individual stocks, and they're pay a pretty attractive dividend. You can access our discussion, our more detailed discussion on the Yield Max ETFs via the bonus link in the notes. So this has yet to be published, but you can again hear that more detailed discussion on the Yield Max ETFs via the bonus link in the notes. So last week we talked and reviewed APLY, which is the Yield Max on Apple. I saw this significant decline in ARK-K, and I thought this one started to potentially look more attractive, so I wanted to do further detailed research on that on OARK. So we've added that. You can see it's also got a longer history than some of these Yield Max ETFs. So we're going to keep an eye on OARK, and again, if ARK bottoms, ARK-K bottoms, we might want to park some cash in OARK just to collect that dividend and potential price appreciation in ARK-K. Also, before I jump over there, you can hear how we developed this Google Payers sheet, as well as how you can use it to identify Google dividend payers to build your own income dividend payment income streams via the series of videos on our channel on how to find the best dividend paying stocks. And again, we'll continue to release videos in that series regarding dividend payers. Okay, so I'll zoom this in a little bit. And firstly, I'll just go to OARK. So here is, again, OARK, which is the Yield Max ETF on ARK-K. You can see it pays monthly. It's paying 68 cents. The last ex-dividend date was 8/4. So we would expect the next dividend, ex-dividend date to be around 9/4. So we've got, a couple weeks to get into our OARK if we want to. So it's paying almost a 55% yield. Adjusted yield, you can see a support level. I'll bring up the FinBiz chart. Again, you can access the FinBiz chart for any of these very quickly by the link in the notes. So we can see that decline. So again, this is going to follow, the general trend of ARK-K. So we see that steep decline. If we zoom out a little bit, again, we can see it's got not quite a year's worth of history. But it's got, it's been around a little bit longer than some of the other Yield Maxes, so I'm a little bit more comfortable with it in general. We see it has had some swings. So it has, swung back up to 18 or so. So right now I've got $4 potential price appreciation. You see that steep drop. So if ARK-K bottoms and this guy bottoms, again, it looks like an attractive dividend, possibly, to hold for a short-term swing in ARK-K, collect the 68 cents in the meantime. And again, we've got, $3 reward, very low risk. It's very close to its 52-week low. So again, we're going to keep an eye on OARK. It might be an attractive dividend payer, again, for a short-term swing. I wouldn't necessarily hold it long term, as we're not comfortable with the decay in the Yield Max ETFs yet, and you can kind of see that it's trended down pretty much in general. So there's appears to be some level of decay, lower lows, lower highs. So again, until we're more comfortable with how they behave, I wouldn't hold them long term, but it's pretty attractive dividend payment. So also we talked about realty income. Here's realty income. You see it pays about 26 monthly. Last ex-dividends at the end of the month. So again, we've got, a week or so to make a decision. Again, 26-cent dividend, anywhere, 55-ish is a good support level. It's got decent potential upside, although I would probably sell it at the previous resistance, which is about 64 or so. But again, still decent appreciation. So adjusted yield, still pretty high. So again, buying it more for the price appreciation, since the yield's only 5%. The adjusted yield, which accounts for price appreciation, is 55%. So since we're also here, here's NSA, public storage. It pays quarterly 56 cents, so about 7% yield. See where the support is. Got a little bit of room to come down to support, but again, $12 potential reward up to about 44.70. So again, more so for a price appreciation, but again, the 7% yield is a little bit better than money markets or treasuries right now. So that's the reason that one's attractive. Another reason I originally was attracted to MPWs. You see it popped up as green, so the green's telling me it's close to support. It's one that we previously swung profitably. So again, when I saw that, I thought, okay, let's throw it in the bullpen. Let's take a look at it. Again, we made money swinging MPW in the past, but again, and we took it off due to the legal issues, potential issues that were identified later. So again, if anyone has another dividend pair you want to look at, here's again APLY, which is the yield max on Apple. Again, the trigger, the entry point would be determined by the bottom of Apple. Again, not one I would necessarily hold for a long time, but for a short-term swing in Apple, collect the 56-cent dividend paid monthly. Again, I believe the yield maxes all kind of ex-dividend around the same time. So this is 8.4, so I'd expect it around 9.4 again. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else in here. And we still hold GLDI, which is on gold. There's one SLVO on silver. I think someone mentioned they bought USOI yesterday. That one's on oil. Someone asked about CLIP. In one of the chats, we did a previous quick take due diligence video on CLIP. This is a covered call strategy long on China. So you can hear that in our due diligence video on our channel, our further thoughts on CLIP. Here's land. Again, it's getting close to support level. So about 15. Once it hits about 15, land has a small dividend. So again, it's more, it's below 5%. So again, I would hold land for price appreciation, not so much for its dividend. We talked about TLT, TLTW. This is for playing the downtrend, seasonal downtrend in treasuries. So we're continuing to pretty much daily watch that. And yesterday we talked about UTSL as a leveraged ETF to play utilities. You can see it pays a small quarterly dividend. So again, not really one to hold for the dividend, but again, it's a leveraged ETF and it's got decent price appreciation. So you do get paid a small dividend if you hold it. But again, leveraged ETFs, not recommended really for a long-term hold in general. So if I missed anybody's dividend pair you want to look at, please let me know. We can come back. And again, if you have any questions or you'd like us to add a dividend pair to do the research on it, please post that in the comments to this video. You can put it in our Discord. Our Discord is free to join. and you can have conversations with your fellow BeachBum traders in addition to these live chats in our live streams. So again, our Discord's free to join, with the exception of the few channels I mentioned. Everything else is available, and you can ask us questions anytime there. Also, we have links to other communities. We have a Facebook group, Reddit community, and all the links to our social media. So again, if you'd like us to look at a dividend payer, an ETF, if you'd like us to check out, we're going to look at our options, puts, ROIC, Google Sheet in a second. So if you'd like us to do research on any of those, you can contact us in numerous ways. So again, you can find links to all those on our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U, in the link section, as well as links to trading platforms, tools, etc. that we frequently reference. Okay, let me grab a quick drink. And yeah, I see Easy Mike's talking about JEPI, JEPQ, SAR. So we've got all those in our dividend payers sheet. You can see both the yields, all the information next dividend. I know those are JEPI, JEPQ are popular. And we've been watching those for the decline in tech. So there is a point where we might be interested in JEPI, JEPQ as the NASDAQ and S&P decline. Okay, so Easy Mike is talking about SAR, so I can quickly bring up and we can look at SAR real quickly. So if I scroll down to SAR, so here's SAR, pays a quarterly dividend 70 cents, so it's about 11% yield, so that's pretty good. About a 20% adjusted, so it's got a little bit of price appreciation. Right now you can see the risk outweighs the reward in terms of the support levels I've identified. So again, that's why we're not really interested in SAR. But again, if you're in for just merely collecting the dividend for a long-term hold at 11% yield, so that's better than money market, better than treasuries. So again, that's would make SAR attractive. So I hope that helps. So in terms of our option strategies, as you saw in our trade updates, we're utilizing several option strategies to generate income in addition to our swing trading. So we sell covered calls against our positions when stocks are going up, buy them back when they're coming back down, and we sell cash secured puts. And then again, if we get assigned, I have a link to the wheel strategy here in our criteria, so you can hear more about the wheel strategy. We also have some videos talking about the wheel strategy. So essentially, with our case of Moderna, we got assigned selling. We made money selling that cash secured put. We got assigned. Now we're going to try to make more money. Potentially selling covered calls, buying them back, as well as, if we get decent price appreciation, we can take profit on that position, or we can continue to hold it for a long term and keep generating income by selling covered calls and buying them back. So we're going to look at our puts ROIC. So here's how we identify potential opportunities to sell puts. And again, in our case, we're selling cash secured puts because we're doing this primarily in retirement accounts. So I use this Google Sheet, and this gets updated by our automated systems as well as Google Finance functions that you'll see that update the prices of the stock to help us identify opportunities of when to try to sell, when to try to buy back these puts. And again, you can get access also to this Google Sheet by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. So just a couple changes this week. So since we had got assigned the Moderna put, we're not looking to buy another or sell another put on Moderna at this time. So I moved Moderna to the research backup sheet, took it off the primary watch list. I also took SEDG out of the research sheet, again, with the negative sentiment shift in solar, and SEDG is continuing to break down. So again, that's not one I would be willing to sell a put on, potentially get assigned, not one I want to hold at this time. And again, if you'd like us to do research on some puts, whatever strike price, expiration, etc., stocks, please let us know. We can put that into the spreadsheet, into our database, run our automated systems, and get that data. And if you'd like to hear, how we've developed and evolved our option strategies, we've got a whole series of videos, option strategies for beginners with examples, and you can access all those videos via the link in our notes, also in the options playlist on our YouTube channel, as well as additional videos on how to sell covered calls, how to sell cash secured puts, etc., and when to buy them back, etc. So here's our puts ROIC. Here's our primary watch list. Again, the white columns are Google functions, so they update in near real time. It's about a 20-minute delay, but again, I'm looking for direction. So anybody showing up in green is going down. That's a potential opportunity to sell a put. If they're red, it means it's going up. If I've already sold one, then I would be looking to buy it back. We can see the daily high and low. Fair value gets calculated. The delta, the potential profit. Then we've got the ROIC based on the 52-week low and the daily high. And then I've added recently an ROIC based on a sell price. So I'll go look at the chart for those options, determine the most recent high, which can vary significantly from the 52-week high. I'll plug that in, and then I can see the ROIC on that. So we can see we've got a sell order right now out on Disney at 85. We can see the ROIC on that's about 5%. So it's not great, but since Disney's one that we're willing to swing, even buying shares, 5% is okay. There aren't a whole lot of other attractive opportunities right now. As you can see, end phase, it's only the ROIC on that's pretty low. So at the 115 strike price, you can see the ROIC is less than 1%. So again, right now at that return on invested capital ROIC, I'm not terribly interested in that. Albemarle, one of Easy Mike's popular stocks. I've been kind of keeping an eye on that one. Again, the ROIC is still pretty low. If I wanted to sell at 170, you see it's pretty close to that. So it's also been downtrending recently. I have been looking at that one, but again, with that ROIC, it's just not that terribly attractive. Identified a sell price of about 380, but again, it's only 1%. So again, not terribly attractive. And again, we have tools. I use this option seller ROI, look at this at the end of each day, spin through it, see if there's anybody that we want to add to these Google Sheets to then run our automated systems, which then collect the data on the options and update it at the end of each day. So again, if it would help you, if you're looking to sell puts, buy them back using this option strategy, you can get access to that information by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. Okay, so I've got a few minutes. We've got a few minutes if you want to talk about individual stocks, if you've got some you want us to do some quick due diligence on, if you have another topic that you'd like us to discuss, anyone in the chat. Again, we've got a few minutes. We can just chat. If I missed your question before, I apologize. Please let me know, and we'll try to address it. See, Easy Mike's talking about UAN. That's one we also have in our dividend payers Google Sheet. For some reason, the Google functions, I don't think, are registering it. It doesn't like UAN. But again, I have been looking at that one as well. So again, here's UAN in our Google Sheet. You see it's paying a $4 dividend quarterly. So it's got a 35% yield, so pretty high yield. Again, the Google functions, it doesn't like UAN for some reason. It's an agricultural input. We can look at the chart. So it looks like UAN recently bounced. So you can see their dividend yield, 33%. It's pretty, that's a 52-week low. So it looks like it's been bouncing in this downwardly trending channel. Still pretty high. So again, if you want to collect that, quarterly dividend, you see what their last ex-dividend date was 8/11, so it's quarterly. So I would guess the next one's going to be in November. Yeah, yesterday we looked at natural gas, oil. Easy Mike's pointing out natural gas and oil. Again, somebody else mentioned cold and boil. So boil is the long on natural gas. Cold, these are the leveraged ETFs. Cold is the short. Again, WTI crude, we typically use Gush and Drip. Gush is the long, Drip is short. So again, very short-term trades, though. It would be my recommendation in those regards. To volatile, risky. But again, those are the leveraged ETFs we like for trading natural gas and oil. Easy Mike points out that, UAN had a special dividend of $10. Yeah, so sometimes these dividend payers will announce an additional or special dividend. Hard to predict, but yeah, UAN had a nice supplemental dividend at that point. So again, it depends what your strategy is for dividend income. What's important to you. Is it the yield, which is a regular payment? Is it the price appreciation? Is it the adjusted yield? Are you trying to swing it? So again, our dividend payers Google Sheet hopefully will help you identify the types of dividend payers that meet your strategy, your situation, and you can select the ones that, again, meet that as best for you. So we hope all this information helps. If there's any you'd like us to add, if you have any recommendations for improvement, we're open to suggestions, recommendations for improvement to any of our tools, systems, our videos, our community. Our goal is to make this whole community, all these tools and resources, to be of most value as possible to all of our fellow BeachBum traders. So again, we need your feedback to know what types of improvements you would like us to make, changes, etc. Please put it in the comments below in our Discord. You can always contact us directly as well. So we greatly appreciate any feedback that you're able to give us. Also, again, if there's anything you'd like us to do research on, stocks you'd like us to look at in future weekly trading game plans or in individual due diligence videos, again, please let us know, and we'll try to do what we're able. So I appreciate everyone that joined us in the chat today. Thank you for all your support. And again, please smash the like button. Help the YouTube algorithm. We really like to get our content out to more traders, new traders, as well as different types of existing traders. And please share this with your fellow traders. Share our channel, share our content with your fellow traders. Let's continue to build the BeachBum trader community for the mutual benefit and added value of everyone. So again, we appreciate all of that, and we wish you a great trading week of August 21st through August 25th. And again, we hope to see you back next week. We again release additional videos throughout the week, so please click the bell icon as well. If you're not already subscribed, we hope you'll subscribe. Again, click the bell icon and you'll be notified of our release of additional videos. So good luck and have a great trading week. Bye.